Hey, so if you clicked on this video, then this video is for you. Now, I'm going to try to do things a little bit different from this one. I'm going to just kind of read some of my comments that I've gotten under some of these videos, kind of give more context into, what I think about them, and, also give some people some shout outs. So, let's start with my most recent comment that I've gotten. It comes from Chris. And he says, him not possessing his memories until now is most likely a retcon, since he referenced them multiple times before the Victory ad. But now we finally know how far Aggrona's mind alteration goes. So that's true. That's true, because we didn't really know exactly how much influence Aggrona had over the memories of Cecilia and Nico. And so now, since we're starting to know, okay, Nico has some of his memories influence. He doesn't really know all the things that, he knew back, with his time on Earth, with him, tweaking things and being an inventor, right? And then you got Cecilia. We know that she's been manipulated. Fucking got Nico replacing Arthur when he had saved her when her key was out of control, and but also Nico invented the thing to help suppress her key, and then also in the alley with the people trying to kidnap her or whatever, and Arthur being the one, or Gray being the one to save her, and replacing that with Nico's being the one to save her, and all, just completely erasing Arthur or Gray at the time from her memory. So we know that she's been manipulated and has been just completely brainwashed, to a large extent. One of the biggest flaws I had with the story, since we didn't know how much Nico and Cecilia are themselves, and since we assumed it was just a minor influence, we saw them as stupid. Now, that also made me think more about Cecilia too. With her being, we know she's just so completely brainwashed, because with her being back, and considering everything that she's already gone through with being used as a weapon, she comes back. Obviously, they're bringing her back to use her again, but she just comes in with open arms. Aggrona's our friend. He gave us a second chance and all this other shit. And I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're the one that literally didn't want to be used to the point where you was going to sacrifice your life and get let yourself get killed by Arthur, and in order for you not to be used as a weapon, because you didn't want to be used as a weapon that bad. Now, that's a little flawed in my mind, because if you're that powerful, if you're that strong, if you've been training all that time, why would you have to let yourself get killed by Arthur? Why didn't you just kill the people who was trying to use you? Just kill them. Kill them and then run off with Nico if that's what you want to do. But to just sacrifice yourself don't make any sense. But Cecilia coming back and then having no suspicions, just oh yeah, Aggrona's our friend and we need to help him and blah 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 blah. I'm just like what? And then also the memories, and she knows that it's not her body. She knows that it's someone else's body, and she got these memories in her mind that isn't from her. She has no care at all. Why am I in this body? Who this body belonged to? Who is this girl? Why are these memories? What did you do to her, Aggrona? She hasn't mentioned anything about Tess and being inhabited in her body. So it just, she's got to just be manipulated at this point. She's got to be brainwashed and manipulated. Okay, so he says, since we didn't know how much Nico and Cecilia are themselves, and since we assumed it was just a minor influence, we saw them as stupid. Nico is most likely creating a device which he can greatly increase magic efficiency. This is actually a big problem for Aggrona, since a large part of his control over Alacrian stems from the fact that he monopolized magic invention. True. As said in the chapter, there is no progress unless Aggrona throws out some new runes. True. And to clear up the confusion between the two systems, the Dicathian system uses mana directly, while Alacrian's ones use runes as mediums. Similar to specific items in other stories. Blah blah. They're needed to cast a spell. Their Alacrian system is more efficient, but since the Grona stops the development and can't grow into its full potential, however, Alacrians could potentially use mana directly, but they never learned it, and it would take a long time till their power would come close to the runes, since they have to start from scratch. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the system is different, you know, with the way Grona set up the runes and stuff. So it's definitely different. This makes Nico's rune incredibly unique, since it is a new one, since it's not in the old tomes, not created by Grona. While this would normally be a positive, Grona witnessed it and would now gain interest in Nico once more, something he cannot have right now, possibly jeopardizing his plans. Yeah, so I mean, we don't really know what's going to happen with this whole new regalia that Nico has you know, spontaneously manifested from going into the chamber. I forget what it's called, but yeah, it's going to be interesting, because Grona is going to be interested in this room for sure, or he's just going to just pass it off as, like, you know, not really that big of a deal. I don't know, but that had to be like a whole video to speculate on what's going to happen with Nico. But, you know, Akers, I appreciate the comment. The long ass comment probably took you a while to say all this, so I appreciate it for sure. Now, this other comment comes from P. P's been commenting on the channel for a while now, so, you know, shout out to you. But it says that to be honest, I've been thinking for a while about how Nico was a genius on Earth and how he was always inventing things to help him and his friends out. I was wondering why none of that showed while he was in Alakria, but thinking about it now, he was influenced heavily by Grona and consumed by his anger or his revenge for Arthur and his longing for Cecilia. Yeah, I wondered the exact same thing. I'm just like, he was an inventor. Why isn't he inventing things to make his life easier or to get stronger with the magic stuff? But now we know. Now that influence is gone. I mean, we think it's gone, or at least it's receding, right? I think Gideon and Nico working together would be so sick. Gideon would legit forget about Arthur because of how smart Nico is. Now, I know that you're probably most likely just kind of joking around and just kind of, you know, theoretically, if Gideon was with Nico, but I don't really see it ever happening. But it would be cool, though. It would be cool to see, like, what their minds could come up with as far as, like, gadgets and stuff. Now, he also says that I'm not sure whether Nico had a great bestowal ceremony, because he had a fight with Arthur, and Arthur somehow influences bestows, and or because he had a Sylvia's core with him. Either way, I can't wait to see more of Nico's backstory. I want to see more, and I've said this before, I want to see more of what happened with Nico after Cecilia was killed and Arthur became king. Like, what did he do? And so I'm curious to know more about that, to maybe kind of redeem Nico as a character and him can stop being so trash. I don't know. He seemed to be making some steps in the right direction, but I mean, we'll see. But as far as like whether Arthur had any sort of influence on him getting the new regalia or anything, I'm not sure. I would likely say no, because most of those kids were like young and they didn't have any runes. But he already has runes, and we never seen any sort of Vritra blooded, kids get any sort of like new runes or anything like that. So I would most likely say no, that he didn't have any influence over, but you never know. Now we got another comment here from P. Says that Turtleme knew what he was doing when he gave us this chapter for real. It's great to see Arthur's humanity and how his actions and the actions of others weigh on him. True, it is. I like seeing it. I mean, Arthur hasn't really changed that much as far as like who he is. Being raised by Alice and Reynolds. It's he's a good person. You know what? He is a caring, What did Alaric say, or Alaric? What did he say? He's a caring block of ice, or something like that. And that's what he is, man. Seeing him as Gray for so long, and then having to be Arthur again for his people, really lets us see how different those two sides of him are. But they're also very similar in certain aspects. Yeah, they are. They really are. I don't really think. See, I know other people talk about him being Gray and how he like changed and whatever. Like, he was more distant and more standoffish, but he didn't really change. He still was Arthur. Like, I don't really get it. Like, he might have thought he changed and was being different, but he didn't kill what was her name? Ada. After the mirror room, he didn't kill Ada. Gray would have just killed Ada to prevent any sort of collateral damage, any sort of things that's gonna get back to him. Even Kara recommended, like, oh yeah, you know, are you sure it's a good idea to let her leave? And he let her leave, and guess what? It came back to bite him in the ass, but he just dealt with it because he didn't want to murder her. Like, he wanted to save her. That's why he did all that work. He did, you know, after everything she's lost, he didn't want to do that because he cares. You know, I'm trying to think of another example where he, you know, with the kid and helping him out with the food, you know, like when he hunted the beast or whatever, he killed it and, you know, dragged it back for the kid or whatever. Like, he didn't have to do that, and he did that. Oh yeah, all the chances that he gave Ada's parents, I can't think of their names, Granbles or something like that. All the chances he had gave them when they constantly and over and over and over and over, like, he let himself get tortured, all types of shit. It is just like, would Gray have done that, or would Gray have just slaughtered anybody who got in his way? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm just like, did he really resort to being Gray, or was he just always Arthur from the beginning? You know? So that's kind of how I look at it. Maybe you guys might think of it differently, but I mean, he was always Arthur, man. Like, he didn't really change all that much. You know, still the caring block of ice, you know? But yeah, Arthur should definitely open up. Like I said, you know, he's holding in too much, so I'm glad you see that. And yeah, so that's a comment from P. Shout out to you, P. And then we got what is this? Arshish. I can't say that. I can't say that. But he says amazing review. I appreciate it. Arthur, it's an anime tonic. Arthur is war. Just kill. I mean, it is a war. Got some traitors in there. This is from Jason Fullerton. I don't know how you say that first one, but I'm gonna just go with Fullerton, right? Says Regis staying in on all the titties he can, living more life than me right now. Yeah, man, Regis, he don't stop. He always thirsty, always. I don't know if you know this, but this particular friend of yours is Jamaican. That's cool. That's cool as shit. I appreciate you leaving a comment and watching. You know, it's really dope. I didn't really think I'd be making videos, but some people like it, so that's cool. That's cool with me. And this is from Fullerton again. Arthur really didn't want to kill those soldiers there, but they only heard about the man and thought they knew how to handle him. My boy had to go against his own wishes and show him who they're dealing with. Augustine swore she ate. She lost mobility in her legs when you hit it right and turn on them waterfalls for too long. That's funny. That's funny as shit. You're hilarious. All right, now this comes from Micah Clean Art 101. It looks like the Sais are scared of Arthur and the Lances. They don't know Arthur has a mana controlling ability. That's right, they don't know. Agrona doesn't know. Man, I'm really excited to see what else Arthur's going to do with his ability. But let's go. I can tell from now on they're going to be jumping grade. Nobody really wants to fight him one-on-one. You can't fight him one-on-one. Like, unless you're an Asura, like a full-blooded, like, you know, actual Asura, like, you're not fighting him one-on-one. Like, I mean, can Agrona fight him one-on-one? Yeah. Will Arthur win? I don't know. fucking Agrona's strong as shit. But let's see. Can't wait for him to see Health Stealers again. I'm pretty sure Daddy Whites will be causing problems next time we see Arthur. I kind of assumed that too. I kind of assumed that, you know, but maybe we'll find out more in the next chapter. But I kind of assumed that the Whites family and, you know, Byron's dad or whatever will be causing problems. And yeah, they're causing problems, but he hasn't officially been seen yet, you know, but we'll probably see him at some point. Okay, Billy Bob. Honestly, looks like Agrona's effects are wearing off on Nico, and he's slowly becoming less garbage one step at a time. Yes. Yes, he is. One step at a time, he's slowly becoming less garbage, but he's still garbage. He's about 95% garbage right now. But he's making his way down to 90%, so we'll see. This is from Fullerton again. Agrona and Kesses need their asses whooped. Can't wait to see that day. Trust me, I want it to be the beatdown of the century. I'm with you, but I think we got a long way to go before that even happens, man. Like, these two motherfuckers are extremely powerful. They listen to them and respect them and do everything they say for a reason. With Kesses, everybody's scared of. Well, not everybody's scared of them. We know everybody ain't scared of him, but his ass is at the top, you know, and created the Great Eight for a reason. Meanwhile, Agrona, ain't nobody challenging Agrona at all. Like, he just doing whatever the fuck he wants. It's just, these are some powerful beings, but we'll see. He also says he's having garbage truck pull up and clean out a little trash for real. Yeah, so, exactly. So we'll see what's going on with Nico. We'll see. Can he get the 90% trash? We don't know. Okay, so this is from chapter 400. So Renegade 1. Just want to see Draniv and Kai to suffer sometime in the future. Yes! Now, we've seen Draniv, well, not saying, we know Draniv is still around because it was a conversation that Nico was having with during, I guess, Cecilia's training or whatever, and Draniv was there, and, you know, Nico was just being a bitch like always, and Draniv was there, and did he like attack Draniv or something? I'm not really sure. So Draniv's still around, and maybe Kai's still around, but yeah, maybe we can get, I don't know, man, if we can get like some of the other mages like Curtis or Kathleen to come down and just fuck over Draniv and Kai, and man, that'd be dope to see. So Micah Cleanart says again, yeah, this was a smooth chapter. I think him returning back to the floating city is going to be longer. Yeah, I mean, he got back there pretty quick. I mean, for what we know now. The Cyrus ran after all that trash talk. Yeah, they're pussies. They some bitches, man. And you know what it shows me also, and I'm thinking about this, like the fact that they ran off so fast, like they're only doing all this because how powerful Agrona is. That's the only reason they're doing all this. Agrona is extremely powerful, and so it's out of just intimidation and fear. That's all it is. Otherwise they wouldn't have ran, because they value their lives. So Jay comment, I like this chapter a lot. Arthur being a badass was so cool. Yeah, he definitely is. He's always badass, man. Like, you know the part that I remember him being bad. I'm like listening to the new Audible book that had came out for book 9. They got the new book is out. So just in case y'all didn't know, the new book is out. So I'm listening to that now. Man, the coolest badass part that stuck out to me was when Arthur was chained up, right? He was chained up going through the trial, the corrupt ass sham of a trial that he was going through. And then that's when they had the high judge come in there and, you know, say all that shit to him. It's like, would you get this man, you know, out of those chains? Where he was like, oh, there's no need. And he fucking just like bends, and you can hear the creak all throughout the room. And he just breaks that shit open, and everybody's mouth is just dropped open. And he was like, you know, in the interest of time. I'm just like, yo, that was sick. But okay, Fullerton said, I just realized I'm the first viewer's view hasn't been registered as yet because they haven't finished watching the entire video. Yep. Yeah, it went by really fast. I'm not disappointed about that part. I didn't want to see all of it. I just wanted them to be successful and be able to upgrade themselves nigh indefinitely, I'm fine with it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, I just love this story. So I just want everything, you know, like I want everything. Like, give me all the details, everything. I want the backstory on Kessis, the backstory on Agrona, the backstory on Sylvie. I want to know all about the Pantheon race. I want to know about the Phoenix race and their war with the Indrath clan. I want to know about what happened to all the Asuras back when, you know, they were all running wild and just, you know, killing each other and shit. I want to know more about Gray's backstory with Earth. I want to know about Cecilia and like how she grew up and why she got so crazy ass unstable key. And I want to know what Nico did after Cecilia died. I want to know everything. I want to know all the details. So don't skip over shit. That's kind of where I'm at. All right, and we got our boy P. Got another comment that says, yeah, I no longer think Aldir is going to teach Arthur the warrior technique, but I definitely think he's going to learn more about it. Yeah, I never bought it, man. I never bought that he was going to teach him the technique. Like, it just didn't make sense. And I think I said it in the comment before. It didn't make sense to me just because of like how the technique works and how it just destroys. It's too much collateral damage. So I can't really seeing it being used in an actual fight by Arthur, considering that he wants to keep, you know, Dicathin intact. And then now we know more about, you know, Aldir and how he feels about the technique and how he doesn't want to teach anybody the technique. And, you know, so I didn't think it was going to happen. But we got Daniel over here. He says, Winston was never going to fight. He lied to them and they wouldn't... lied to them that they wouldn't need to bring Aldir by force and intentionally stepped to the back. Yeah, I mean... He probably lied to him too, but I think this was more of like Kessis. Kessis the one that was the main factor in getting all those kids to come there and fight their former teachers and who they had a relationship with. You know, I remember Aldir said something about like, you know, the fear that they might have instilled, that Kessis might have instilled within them to get them to do all this in the first place. But anyway, he says that if they had managed to capture Aldir or kill him, then it wouldn't have ended well for him. Yeah, but they weren't about to do that shit. They wanted to force his hand to a slaughter. That's why Kessis deliberately chose dragons that Aldir had trained and also dragons that weren't strong enough to kill him if they banded together. I don't think that he cared about whether or not how strong the dragons were. I think he just more so wanted the dragons that had a relationship with him. You know, he's all about games, man, and like testing things. But they said the Asuras are kind of like that anyway, just because how strong they are. But and I guess they'd be bored. But I think it was just more so that he just wanted that relationship to see like, would he really kill his former students and people he had a relationship with? And also it was the one dude who hated him, you know, anyway. So he's like, of course he's there. He's not surprised that he was there. But I think it was more so that I don't think he cared about whether they were strong enough or not. But not weak enough that Aldir would simply overlook them without getting his hands dirty. I think he was going to get his hands dirty regardless, because Winston was coming after him. Man, Winston is a bitch, man. I swear. Ugh. Anyways, now Kessis has all the reasons and justification to do what he likes. I mean, he's going to do whatever he wants anyway. We haven't seen nobody else really like make a big deal about some of his decisions other than the head of the Pantheon race, you know, that guy. Can't think of his name. But that's it, man. Everybody else just kind of like, they're just pussified. They don't want to say anything. But I had some other comments that I had wanted to go through, and this video is getting kind of long, so I'm gonna just end it here. But let me know if you guys like this. Maybe should I do it again at some point? But yeah, like the video. Let me know if you liked it, and I'll talk to you guys when the next chapter comes out. Peace.